Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another market update. I know it's been quite some time since I've done a couple of these, and I'm going to get back on track with more YouTube videos, getting better about releasing these updates for everybody, getting you guys all on the right track. For those of you who are new to my channel, or anyone that hasn't really watched many of these videos before, my name is Tex. I am an Elliott Wave trader. I have been trading since 2007, 2008-ish, since the crash, really. Um, and anyways, I've had a long journey through several markets, and finally ended up, trading some forex and doing some spot buy on cryptos, and that's about where I keep everything. So for now, let's dive right in. I'd like to really start with USDX. We're going to start with our daily, as always. For those of you guys that have been through a lot of my videos, you know where we stand. Excuse me. On these daily, starting on my daily time frames. So first and foremost, we've seen a really nice run during COVID come out of the dollar, and a lot of that is due to higher interest rates. The stock market was taking a dip, but mainly because the dollar, we were in a dollar dynamic where the dollar was forcing the stock market to the downside. You can see here pretty easily the market correlations with the dollar taking its run and the stock market taking its dive. Okay. So the dollar now is consolidating. We had a big run up, had to retrace a little bit, a lot of consolidation here. I won't get into too much of the Elliott Wave terms because I know a lot of you guys don't trade Elliott Wave, which is fine. So we'll use some more general and basic terms. There's a really nice consolidation here that we finally have broken out of, but this is going to be a market fake out here. We should get a little bit more upside. I would expect to see challenging somewhere in this zone here. Excuse me. To this wick. Here you go. I would expect to see something in this zone here, which there's a pretty strong correlation between a daily and a weekly resistance in this zone, as you guys can see. So I would really like to see the market try to reach up into this zone here between these two volume zones. And if we can get a good solid rejection out of here, then we're going to be looking for a lot more downside here. So anyways, as it is, there is excuse me, this is not right. I need to get rid of this. There we go. Okay, that's better. Apologies. I think that was an old one stuck in there. So like I said, market fake out, rejecting from this zone here. Not sure why this box is here. We can get rid of it. And then we're going to be looking for a return to the downside here on this play. This is a very interesting type of area. I think the market is really going to try to reach higher here. Okay, so I think USDX is going to take a bit of a run, probably more to the upside, because here's our invalidation zone on this. Okay, if we cross, let's make this orange the way that it should be, use the proper colors. Okay, so if we cross this line on this move down, that it invalidates an additional move to the upside, which you guys see I have charted over here. Okay, so in order to prevent an invalidation, the market is going to have to reach up to almost here. Okay, and that does kind of make sense for right now. Let me get rid of this box. That was just kind of a preliminary box to draw. For me, that makes sense. We have an impulse wave up, a minor corrective sequence, and then we are going to be looking at something like this. Now the thing is these two correlate really well. My orange line that I drew, a lot of this correlates really well. So I'm just looking at the dollar continuing to make this run over the next week or two, continuing to the upside, seeing a lot of weakness. We can confirm that by seeing that there's going to be a lot of, I'm sorry, a lot of weakness, a lot of strength in the dollar, excuse me. And then that's going to cause us to see weakness in things like gold. Also the stock market. Let me see. I think the stock market has more down to go here. I think this is going to be a double. We're going to end up with something like this in a double correction, okay, to the downside here for wave 4. And so we're going to be looking at probably taking some longs here on the market. If not, then the market we can place 4 low here, and the market holds this low here. If we hold that low, then we're going to see some pretty good upside here in the stock market. But let's get back on USDX for now. Let's drop down into our 4-hour time frames. There's not much else to see here on the 4-hour. It's pretty basic, you know. I mean, we're kind of getting this thing to move along at this point. Just waiting for more waves to unfold to the upside. So don't really have a whole lot of additional. Just expect more strength in the dollar as we go on. Obviously, there's always down candles. You know, CPI today. CPI created this crazy wick, but we all know that's what always happens. And it sent a lot of assets like gold and everything else to finish their impulses to the downside here. Okay, so as we can see, this is actually the 5th wave completed there, and then now we're going to get a correction to the upside. So this is kind of how I have it. I know there's a few people that have this labeled as 3, 4, and 5, and then a correction here, and then we're starting a new sequence, maybe a wave 1, and then a little return to here, and then more weakness. So, you know, again, this is all to be determined. We shorted gold around this zone here at 1940. Still riding the short. It's been very profitable for us, so I'm very happy. You know, we can count our lucky stars on that one, that we took a really good trade there. I've also today entered into let's see, I can't see it behind my toolbar here. That's GBP. Here we go. I took a little short on GU just because I'm crazy, I guess. But I don't know that this was the right short to take. I'm probably going to go ahead and close that. I think we're going to see some more upside here in GU first after the completion of this big impulse wave here. So we're going to get some upside. So probably some short-term weakness in the dollar, you know, probably something like this. Let's see. Probably going to be looking at, let's change this to green because that means longs. Yeah, so this is probably going to be what the dollar does, honestly, is we're going to see just a slow trickle here before a return to the upside. Okay, so let's not get crazy with thinking that, you know, we've figured something out here. Let me move these real quick. And this is actually an expanded flat correction here. There we go. Likely this is a internal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, let's make sure that we have proper scale. Yeah, so we've got all these labeled quite nicely here. Probably this is a wave 1, 2, and then we'll get 3, 4, 5 up here. Let's not be hasty with determining some of these levels just yet. I know we discussed them a minute ago, but I would rather let some of these waves play out before we get real hasty with making our calls. Yeah. So anyways, so let's get into GBP USD. Overall, the idea is pretty simple. I know I don't have a lot of this charted out. I had the correction because this was a really weird and wonky correction for me. But this is just a big zigzag. I mean, it's you know, you have to look at the same structure that comes out of the dollar, right? The dollar really drives any of its pairs. So we have this big like zigzag, which is this is a zigzag in Elliott wave. Is a really simple correction, right? Oh my god. So, you know, normally we get like wave 1 up, and then we get a really nice like 3 waves back, and then a wave 2. Okay. I don't know why it's doing that. But in this case, it's like a little tiny down and back. Okay. So, zigzag here, getting the same thing out of GU. Zigzag to the downside, right? I mean, it's the exact same profile. Okay. So, looking at eventually taking longs here on GU. Don't really want to put any entries just yet. We're finally getting close. I just haven't really liked this correction to really take shorts on it. I mean, yeah, you know, look, if we look at a lot of this structure, guys, could we have shorted this? Yeah, sure. But how do you predict that, right? Like how do we predict that? We don't know when price action is here, okay? And mind you, this is the 4 hour, right? So we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So it's like a bottoming pattern, right? So we're like bouncing. So we know it's going to bounce at some point. But when it bounces, here's the interesting part. And let me put this on the hourly, okay? So when it finally did bounce, I lost my place here. There we go. Okay. How do we know where this stops, right? I mean, this is a really, really, really wonky correction up. And it just decided at one point that it was going to fucking die. Okay. So, look, I don't think that we need to get crazy with some of these and try to take every single trade. That's part of my philosophy is staying away from the trades that we don't need to take. Yes, can we have shorted this? Absolutely. Okay. Should we have shorted this? No. There was no proper way to determine a level here. We could have shorted here and got wrecked. Could have shorted here and got wrecked, right? There was really no good place to take any sort of solid shorts on this. Even within these corrections, you know, I mean, this whole correction right here was just absolutely trash for us, you know? So I'm not really trying to take any sort of plays when price action is doing this kind of stuff. Now, that being said, the only place that we could have taken a short, but I was actually taking a break for a week, would have been right here on this guy. Okay. Bing, bang, boom. Okay. I would have looked at maybe taking something like this as a short. The only problem is that went past the 1.618 before deciding to drop again. Right? So it's kind of like, well, you know, sorry, hold on. I need to fix this. I didn't realize how out of whack my chart was. Sheesh. Sorry, guys. I haven't looked at this chart in a while, so there you go. And this was an expanded flat again. So as you can see, there's a lot of flats in here, a lot of flat corrections, which if you guys follow me enough, you know I don't like trading flat corrections. I stick to normal corrections. You know, this is another flat. It expanded way too high here, right? So again, here's the level, right? Bing, bang, look at that. Way past the 618. And it doesn't even really matter, like, even if I did this, there's no way to say that like for sure that we knew that this was the top of A and that this is a little tiny B. Like that just not you're not gonna see that kind of stuff. Okay. So the bottom line is, yeah, I mean, did I take a little short today? Yeah, I did take a little short here. It's more of just a play for funsies to see if I can catch some weakness in this thing. But I don't think we're going to catch weakness. I'm probably going to take a stop loss on it. But it's fine. We've had a really profitable week and a half, over $3,000 in a week and a half. So I'll take it on the Forex side. So back to USDX, looking at weakness. Let's get into gold here, okay? I'm really liking the gold trades right now. I've been staying on top of my charts with gold lately. I mean, as you can see, you know, we've taken a few trades here and there on this guy, but we've always been a little bit wary of gold just because some of the structure was different. Didn't really like a lot of the structure, you know, back last year, okay? So the structure was just very, very, very like impulsive at times and then very like calm at times like this, right? So what I like is that we're respecting levels right now really well. It's really respecting my charts. As you can see, we shorted from our short zone here. Perfect correction. ABC to the upside. Took shorts. In profits. Have secured profits. Stop loss at entry here on this guy already. So risk-free position. Congratulations if you guys have taken that with me. Overall, the initial RR was 5.35. And of course, now we're completely risk-free. Looking at taking a total of 7.14% on gold. So I really, 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 really like this one. 138. Is that 138 pips or is that more than that? I don't know. Somebody fact check me on that. I forget if this is the pips or if this is the pips. I have no idea. So anyways, looking at taking a really nice trade here on gold. I tried to call another short in this zone, but man, it just didn't quite extend to the 1.0 here. I really wanted to get some more people in this one, but that's okay. We've got another one here that we're gonna take. So as soon as some of these waves unfold a little bit, I'm gonna get guys in this gold short, and we're gonna ride out some more of this. In the meantime, some other stuff that I'm looking at. You know, we did discuss SPX. You know, this is the daily. We had taken some longs here initially, and then when it came back and retouched the box, I had a lot of people close their longs. Was afraid that we were going to make a new low here. So we just went ahead and we took some profits, and then we let it kind of run back down. So, look, I mean, here's the reality, right? This is what we need to see in the U.S. stocks, okay, in my opinion, to say whether this was the low or if we make another low, okay? Right now, we have reached an extension here, okay? We have reached this extension. It's a long extension, but we reached it, okay? If we do not make a new high, right? If we do not make a new high here, put that guy right there. If we fail to make a new high and we break below this low, okay? I'm going to say that again for all you guys. If we fail to make a new high and we break below this low, then I think we are going to take a run at the lows. Probably breaking them, finding support somewhere down here in the low 4K range, okay? This is my assessment of it. If we reach above and make a new high here, then 4 is in place here, and this is the beginning of a new 5-wave sequence. We will correct down, but we'll bounce somewhere in here, and we won't break this low, okay? So, fail the high, then we break the low. Break the high, we hold the low, okay? So that's my assessment of it. I don't like trading this right now. I really don't. It's too indecisive. It can go both ways. It's waiting on the dollar to figure out what the fuck it's going to do, okay? So, at the end of the day, let's let this thing run its course. I'm not trading SPX at this time. Not getting involved in any of the madness, okay? Now, let's talk about our yen pairs. I am loving the yen pairs right now, okay? They are really, really, really giving us some nice, some nice trades, okay? The yen pairs have been amazing. Let me just, sorry guys, sliding a lot of this stuff over because we're like teasing at this box right now. The yen pairs just need to get their shit together and finish this stuff already. Okay, let's be realistic here. Okay. Anyways, so right. Hey, hold on. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Moved into a new house, and I don't know which days are trash days. So, anyways, I heard the trash coming, and I'm like, oh man, I gotta take my trash out. My garage is stinky. Okay, so where were we? Yen pairs, yes. So here's the deal on the yen. We're about to get a big run of weakness in the Japanese yen. Okay, this run is gonna last for a while. I see this thing. A lot of the yen pairs are gonna take a nice run to the upside. Okay, as you can see, we already tapped a little bit on GBP USD. I think we get one more little tap to the low here, if you ask me, on GBP USD, because there's going to be weakness in the other yen pairs. So yes, we tapped our entry, but I did alert for everyone to close. We are going to get a retouch here on this guy. We're going to for sure get a retouch. So what we did is we closed for profits like way up here. Took a really nice chunk of change on it, and then we're going to let it return to the downside. Not shorting this, okay? So this goes for a lot of you guys who are new to my channel, haven't been following me at all. But I will say this. When we have boxes set up, whether they're short boxes, okay, like this, or they're long boxes like this, we do not short or long to these boxes unless I call for that. I am shorting CHF JPY because there's a nice extension here. I am not shorting GBP because this extension is not correct. I mean, it's correct, it's just not well, it's not I mean, as you can see, there's not really like a proper resistance here. Okay, here's your resistances up here. So this thing can really decide to turn around at any point in this zone. So we don't have like for sure levels in there, okay? So I don't really like that as a short. Whereas on this guy, the short is a lot better, okay? So we've got some 4-hour resistance right in here. We're sitting in a resistance zone altogether right here. We did not bounce from any sort of significant zone back here, okay? So there's not really a super significant area that we bounce from, which I really, really like. I mean, we can even go to the daily here and scrunch this up a little bit and see. So, you know, this one we're relying not on pivots, but purely an extension, and we're going to grab that extension and we're going to get a run to the upside. The daily resistance has been keeping us, you know, down low, which is nice. So eventually we should see this run to the upside into uncharted territory. The yen is going to take a really, really hard dive, unfortunately. So pray for Japan. Let's see. Yep. The only other stuff that I want to look at, let's take a look at Bitcoin real quick for some of my crypto guys. I made this call the other day. giving people some ideas on the Bitcoins. Okay. Gotta love these expanded flats. There's a lot of them. Okay. So, especially in the cryptos. So, kind of the same thing as, I mean, I don't know, kind of the same thing as GBP USD, right? Waiting for this whole sequence to finish ties into the dollar taking more upside. Okay, I mean, let's put this at a reasonable level here. Let's not mess around. Let's get this where it should be, so we don't get confused later. I'll place these as the waves play out. I'll put these in place, but I mean, look, guys, it's gonna run down. The dollar is making its run up. Okay, we're gonna find weakness in Bitcoin. Called some longs from this zone for all my crypto bros. I'll leave this here for a second so you guys can see. I don't want to be too early on this, but I think I'm finally... I'll say this. Okay, here's a better way of saying it. If we bounce from this zone in Bitcoin and we break these highs, then I'm bullish on Bitcoin. Okay? Not full bullish like, oh my God, we're going to the moon. Bitcoin's the best ever, blah, blah, blah. I just don't think we make lows below this anymore. Okay? Below the 15K range or whatever it is that we made, last year. Okay, so if we can, if we break to the upside here, the only kicker is if our return breaks this whole zone here. Okay, if our return breaks this whole zone, once we make this up, if we break down below this zone, then I think there's a real chance we could challenge it. Right? So there's still a lot of indecision in Bitcoin. I mean, I really want to flip to full bullish because if you guys follow me enough, I am a Litecoin fanboy. Okay? I'm just a fucking Litecoin fanboy. It's all there is to it. I have been buying the shit out of Litecoin in this zone. You can see every time we were in here, I have been buying. Right? This is my infamous text box. So, same thing for Litecoin, man. I mean, I'm buying this stuff. My only issue is if Litecoin decides to make a new low down here, okay? If we take another low at this point, then I'm going to be a little concerned with Bitcoin. If Litecoin takes a new low, then I would expect Bitcoin to probably follow suit. Just like we did, where was it? Back in here. A lot of people thought I was crazy. Yeah, right here. So Litecoin made this low here, okay? And Bitcoin did not. Bitcoin made a low and then a higher low. And Litecoin made a lower low, okay? I said because of that low, yeah, we're going to get a correction, but we shorted this because of this low. And a lot of you guys remember this short. We shorted 132, and I think we closed out around like 45. I mean, it was a massive short. Absolutely massive. 63% unleveraged run, okay? A lot of my guys made some really good money on this run here. So, was part of it luck? Absolutely. We didn't know the market was going to die this bad over the course of like 2 months. Okay, but we all came out pretty good. We enjoyed it. Same rule applies. Lower low here, bang, right? If Litecoin makes a lower low, I think we could spill even deeper, and I think the same thing would happen to Bitcoin. Okay, so let's hope and pray that Litecoin does not make its lower low. See, here's that same situation where Bitcoin made a higher low and everybody was like, oh yeah, oh my God, Bitcoin's gonna go to the moon, and then it was like, yeah. Okay, so let's not forget what's going on. All right, USDX is still making its run. This run is going to dictate a lot of this. Okay, So this is a really crucial time right now for any sort of risky assets, commodities, metals, cryptos. Guys, be careful, okay? Like, I don't own any gold, so for me personally, like gold reaching way down here, I don't give a fuck, okay? I want gold to reach down there because I missed an opportunity to long gold. Where was it? There was an opportunity to take gold longs, I believe, here, and then there was another opportunity like here or here. I forget. I was doing some back testing earlier, but I missed two great places to get longs on gold. Okay, so it is going to go to the upside, but I'm not going to miss this one. So we're going to let USDX do its thing, okay, to the upside. Expect, you know, some weakness in commodities, cryptos, metals, risky assets, equities, whatever you want to call them. Forex pairs, you know, the yen is dying. Woohoo! I only say that because we're in yen trades. Okay. So maybe not woohoo for everybody, but, you know, that's kind of where I stand right now with the markets. I'm only showing the stuff that I'm trading. If you guys want me to look at different assets or different pairs, different commodities, please let me know. I'll put those in a live. Just you can find me on Discord, guys. My Discord is TEXX0920. Okay. So if you guys need to find me, send me a message there. I can include some stuff on my lives. Anyways, I appreciate everybody's view, and hope you guys have a wonderful and safe trading week. Thank you.